G'day. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the survivor from Down Under. I survived 30 years of narcissistic abuse and broke free from the toxic cycle. I'm here to help you and share my knowledge. You are not alone. In today's video, we are looking into what is a deeply personal one for me. It's the covert narcissist. They can be your romantic partner, a close friend, or someone at work. Let's have a look. Can you spot the covert narcissist? I'll probably say you didn't. Unlike your usual narcissists, covert ones hide very well amongst us. Picture this. It's a sunny Saturday arvo. You're at a typical barbecue, steaks and snags sizzling on the barbie, kids running amok in the pool. Everything seems sweet, right? But then, you notice someone a little off when there is a disturbance at the table. There is that charming person, but their compliments appear to sting with a subtle barb. They sit at the table, downplay their own achievements while subtly undermining others. You might hear them say, "Oh, it was nothing," but their tone suggests otherwise. Or they will insult someone, and when the person gets offended and arcs up for a Barney, this person will then say, "I was only having a joke," somehow making the offended one look like the aggressor in the situation. This, my friends, could be an encounter with a covert narcissist. They are masters of disguise, blending into social settings while quietly wreaking havoc on their victims. Unlike the overt narcissist who craves the spotlight, the covert narcissist hides in the shadows. They hide behind a mask of shyness or sensitivity, making it tricky to spot. They often come across as humble or even caring in some way. Unlike what we know about the traditional narcissist, covert narcissists will operate in the shadows. They are the silent predators, snakes of the social world. They crave admiration and validation, but they seek it in subtle, often passive-aggressive ways. They might drop a line to fish for compliments or play the victim to get attention. Think of them as the master puppeteers of emotional manipulation. They have the ability to pull the strings without you even realizing it. They will leave you feeling confused and questioning your own sanity. You might find yourself doubting your perceptions and wondering if you really are just overreacting. And because their behavior can be so toxic and insidious, covert narcissists' behavior often goes unnoticed, leaving a trail of emotional wreckage and turmoil in their wake. They may turn a joyful gathering into a minefield of emotional traps, leaving every man and his dog feeling hurt or trying to work out what the bloody heck just happened. Okay, let's break down some key differences between the traditional type being the overt narcissist and the covert ones. Let's go. The overt narcissists are the peacocks of the personality disorder world. They are flamboyant and have that look at me attitude, always seeking to be the center of attention. They're loud, proud, the duck's guts, and they want everyone to know it. Their confidence is often mistaken for genuine self-assurance, but it masks a fragile ego. They thrive on being the center of attention, demanding constant praise and admiration. Without it, they feel empty and unfulfilled. Think of the mate at a party, always directing conversations back onto themselves and how good they are. They are the one who dominates every conversation and minimizes the points of view of others. Or maybe the one always being the center of attention at every social gathering. We have all probably seen them. At work, they might be that workmate who reminds everyone of their genius in every meeting, making sure their achievements are always in the spotlight. Legends in their own lunchtime. They're driven by a need for superiority and have zero qualms about stepping on others like a herd of pissed-off cattle. Their ambition knows no bounds. They often leave a trail of trampled and hurt feelings in their wake. Now, covert narcissists, on the other hand, are more like a snake in the grass, well camouflaged. They will blend into their surroundings, often going unnoticed while they quietly, slowly taste the environment, ready to take advantage of the situation and manipulate those around them. We often refer to them as the wolf in sheep's clothing. Their tactics are subtle, they might appear shy, sensitive, or even modest, often playing the role of the underdog to gain sympathy. But beneath the facade lies a deep-seated need for validation and control. They crave admiration just as much as any narcissist, but they go about getting it in a more insidiously toxic, underhanded way. Think of the friend who is constantly dropping a line for compliments, always downplaying their achievements to elicit praise from others. Or the partner who plays the victim to evoke sympathy and attention, making you feel guilty for their perceived suffering. Ever had that situation when they managed to turn the argument around and put it all back on you? That's what I'm talking about. The subtle signs of a covert narcissist. So, how can you tell if you're dealing with a covert narcissist? It's definitely not easy, as they are often highly skilled at hiding their true nature. But there are some telltale signs to watch out for. These signs can be subtle and easily overlooked if you're not paying close attention. This is as sure as a meat pie disappearing at Smoko. They will exploit your good nature. Remember, these are just potential red flags, not a diagnosis. It's important to consider the overall repeated pattern of behavior rather than isolated incidents that we can all have from time to time. 1. The king or queen of a backhanded compliment. They're masters of the subtle dig disguised as praise. These comments often leave you feeling confused and unsure of how to respond. You look amazing for your age. This type of compliment seems positive at first, but it carries an underlying insult. Or, that's a great achievement, for someone with your experience. Again, it sounds like praise, but it subtly undermines or insults you and your accomplishments. Their words might sound nice on the surface, but they leave you with a lingering feeling of unease or confusion as to why they would have said that in such a way. 2. The perpetual victim. Ever had that person where the world is always against them? They never take responsibility for their actions and always find someone or something else to blame. For example, they will walk into a chair sitting out from the table and blame the chair for being in their way, or blame someone for leaving it out even if they weren't even there. Never actually taking accountability for what's in their control. They're constantly the victim of circumstance, bad luck, or other people's insensitivity. This perpetual victimhood is a way to garner sympathy and avoid accountability. They'll milk their misfortunes like a dairy cow at dawn for all the sympathy they can get, often exaggerating or even lying and fabricating events to gain your empathy. Empathy being something they severely lack. And guess what? It leaves you feeling sorry for them. 3. The passive-aggressive pros. They're masters of the silent treatment, the guilt trip, and the thinly veiled insult. These behaviors are designed to manipulate and control you without direct confrontation. They use these tactics to express their displeasure and control the situation without ever having to openly address the issue. They'll make you feel bad about yourself without ever directly confronting you. This indirect approach can be very confusing and emotionally draining over time. Remember, it's all about control and manipulation. They want to keep you guessing, feeling insecure and unsure of yourself, which makes it easier for them to maintain power over you. 4. The emotional vampire. They drain your energy with their negativity and neediness. They are parasites. They are like a mozzie sucking your blood without you even knowing they are there until it's too late. Over time with them, you will feel emotionally exhausted and depleted. Imagine you are a hamster or mouse, running on the wheel, and it doesn't matter how fast you run, it's never enough. Eventually, you will run out of energy to keep up with their demands. Now, where covert narcissism lurks. Covert narcissists aren't confined to dark alleys or barbecues. You will find them anywhere, from your local footy club to your Facebook feed. Here are a few scenarios where covert narcissists might rear their ugly head. The office martyr. You know, that person at work who always stays late, never takes a break, and then complains about how much work they have, while subtly implying everyone else is slacking off. The social media shamer. They post humble brag after humble brag, subtly putting others down while showcasing their own perfect life. Think of those carefully curated holiday snaps captioned with, "So blessed," or passive-aggressive status updates about certain types of people who just happen to be doing things they disapprove of. Now, the queen or king of family drama. They thrive on conflict and create drama wherever they go. They're always the victim, and they love nothing more than to pit family members against each other and sit back and watch the chaos. After our separation, I watched my toxic partner do this with my adult son and daughter, just because she felt her son was not supporting his mother, when in fact he was just being truthful. This was a form of punishment she handed down for his perceived lack of support. She played the victim to my daughter, making out how hurt she was. This rift between brother and sister lasted months. It was very hard as an empathic parent to navigate and very painful to try to deal with, as they were both being manipulated so well there was no way they would listen to me. So, what's with the mask? Understanding the covert narcissist's thinking. Now, before you grab your pitchforks and torches, it's important to remember that covert narcissists aren't inherently possessed or some form of witchcraft. Even though their behavior is truly evil, it's more about their mindset, which stems from deep-seated insecurity and a fragile sense of self. They will often have a history of childhood trauma, neglect, or emotional abuse, which has left them with an intense need for validation and control. They wear their masks to protect themselves from further hurt and rejection. By portraying themselves as sensitive, vulnerable souls, they manipulate others into giving them the admiration and attention they crave. It's a defense mechanism, a way of coping with their own deep-seated pain they have never addressed or processed properly. Understanding the thinking behind a covert narcissist doesn't excuse their behavior at all, but it can help you navigate these tricky relationships with a little more knowledge, understanding, and a lot less self-blame. You deserve a fair go. Will a narcissist ever change? Yeah, nah. You must understand that a narcissist will rarely, if ever, change. It's a disorder. It's how their brains are wired. The only way out of this cycle is to break free like an out-of-control ram into the fence line and start your journey to freedom. You need to leave the toxic relationship. You know what? My last 11 months of the relationship was one of discovery. Unearthing all the tactics and manipulation of 30 years, I have to tell you, those final 11 months were the hardest. The toxic behavior went into overload as I was building my courage, strength, and gaining understanding of narcissism. And then I finally saw her true side, what I was actually dealing with. Admittedly, I was scared at first, and it was an absolutely overwhelming time. But I made the decision to break the cycle and leave the relationship. I can tell you it was very painful, and I questioned if I did the right thing. But it can be done and has opened my life to happiness and the life I always wanted. Others have been through the same cycle, so you are not alone. You can do it. Now's your time. So what do you reckon? If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I'd love to see your comments, or you can just type yes, so that others know they aren't alone in their experience. Your happiness matters. Knowledge is the key to your freedom and a better life. Stay informed. As I always say, believe in yourself. See ya.